So I've got these two mirrors in for restoration, various different things going on, bowls and urns, and a pineapple at the top. Pineapples are usually a symbol of wealth, and I thought actually this would look quite nice on our advent tree, so I'm going to take a mould with the fast moulding silicone. Right, so I am going to have to be quite fast with this because it will go off really quickly, and it's a bit too big, this decoration, for this type of silicone. Right, you don't want any streaks in there, you want one solid colour. Right, that's ready to peel off. Let's see how much of the gold it's going to take with it. That's the trouble with giltwood stuff. It can, this has started to flake, so I expect it's going to take some of the gesso off. Luckily it's before I've repaired it. Wow, it didn't. Oh, a tiny bit. That bit there. So I've given the compo a coat of gesso and sanded that, just because the compo wasn't perfect, but now I've sanded all that back, it's a lot better. And I'm going to give it a coat of yellow bole. I'm doing the yellow bole mostly because I've got lots of it, and I want to build up the layers of bole. I need at least 6 on here because some of this will be water gilded and burnished, and if you want a good burnish you want really good layers of bole underneath there. So I could come in with the colours I'm going to finish with, but I've just got lots of this yellow, so I'm just using it up. Right, that's the green layered up. I'm coming in now with some French red bole. Right, so the pineapple has had a total of 6 coats of bole. They've all been polished up. Right, now the reason for the 2 colours is that I'm doing 2 different coloured leaves. I'm going to put my normal 23.75 here, and then I'm going to come in with the lemon gold, I think that's 18 carat, for the leaves. So I'm going to be water gilding this first piece. The original pineapple was oil gilded. I'm going to be water gilding this. The reason you oil gild something like this is because it's actually quite awkward to gild this way, because the gold wants to split and tear. You'll see as it won't wrap around the decoration properly, whereas oil gilding just goes straight on, there's no issues whatsoever. So I'm going to wet the bowl. I've cut the gold into smallish pieces, because the smaller the better when you're doing things like this, and then try and sort of roll it on. So as you can see, there's some little rips and tears and holes in the gold. So you have some really little pieces ready, cut. You don't want to over wet the area because it can stain the gold. Touch in where you want it to be. Pick the little bit up. And press it down. These in here are the awkward ones. You just sort of have to try and fold it in. So the pineapple body has now been patched. So what I'm going to do with the leaves is pick out some leaves to water gild and the rest I'm going to oil gild. It's always nice to do things like in threes, so I think I'm going to do the middle leaf and these two side ones, and then work out what I'm going to do up there. So this combination of the normal 23.75 carat and this 18 carat, it's called lemon gold, but I think of it as green gold. You see that occasionally on French mirrors, they have this mix of colours, and that's why I did the pineapple body in that red colour, because the red is what French frames are gilded in. You don't usually get this green underneath, but I quite like, where I can, put in the colour of the leaf underneath. It just helps if there's any little splits or anything in it. Right, water gilding's dry. So I'm just going to come along with my burnisher and see how much of a shine I can get. Right, I think that's as shiny as it's going to get. So I'm going to go at these leaves. So I'm using the button polish. As you can see, that really deepens the colour of that green. That's why I use button polish. A lot of people use clear shellac, but I like this just because it deepens the colour of the bowl. So you always water gild first, get your burnishing done, and then you come along and do your oil gilding. And that's because this button polish and the size that you put over the top of that, if you get it on the water gilding, you can use a tiny little bit of paint stripper and take it off. Whereas if you did your oil first and that went where you wanted to water gild, your water would resist, because you've sealed it, it wouldn't be able to soak into the bowl. And that's why you always do the water gilding first. Oil's ready.